call this regularly scheduled meeting of the Troup City Council to order. Knowing that all persons are present, all council persons are present with the exception of Mr. Hale, Mr. Richardson. This time, I'd like to ask Nelson if you would visit with the invocation and pledge of allegiance.
Stand for prayer. Father God, thank you so much, Lord, for who you are in our lives. And Father, we thank you so much for the city of Troup. Father, we thank you so much for those who've gone before us, and we thank you so much, Lord, for the council and all of its members, Father, in our city, Father, to help us to make wise decisions, not just for today, but for our future. We thank you so much for the city we serve, our state, and our country. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a long agenda. Some of these things will be pretty short, so I'm going to blow on through it, Gene, pretty quickly. Okay. The public hearing part's coming up here. Agenda item number 4 be consider approving the minutes from the meeting of July 15th. I'd entertain a motion.
Make a motion that we approve the meeting minutes from July 15th. I second the motion.
Motion is second. Additional discussion. Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Agenda item number 5 would be citizen comments, and you'd have to be a citizen to be able to make a comment. Seeing no citizens, we'll skip to agenda item number 6. Review and consider the city financial report for the month of July 2019. Mr. Collins.
All right. At the end of July, we're down $5,000, almost $6,000 what we were this time last year. And when you add in our accounts payable and the amount we've got, we had due from the TCDC for the paving of Church Street, we were only down $3,500 from last year, which is not bad considering we spent a good bit of money. And you have the balance sheet and the revenue and expense report, the detailed revenue expense report. Is there any of that you have any questions? There's nothing significant. Everything is within budget.
Any questions? We'd entertain a motion for approval.
I make a motion that we approve the city financial report for the month of July 2019.
Second.
We'll move on to agenda item number, sorry. Have a motion second. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Sorry. Trying to get through. Agenda item number 7 being the city manager's report. Do you want to start with the chief?
I do.
Chief?
Cool. 17 arrests.
New presentation.
Yeah, we couldn't fit it on the old ones, so we had to change our.
Working hard.
Yeah, we made 17 arrests in the month of July. A couple DWIs, public intoxication, executed some warrants, possession of controlled substance, possession of marijuana, more warrants, another public intoxication, peace officer warrant, which is a mental health warrant, several driving while license invalid, and a couple of disorderly conducts, fighting, and we took them to jail for that. We filed a dozen cases with the DA's office. At the end of July, we're at 1,121 on our cases. We wrote 25 hard copy real tickets and issued 82 warning tickets. Had both school resource officers attend the Texas Association of School Resource Officers Conference in Austin, which is 100% reimbursed by the school, and supervisors Lieutenant Murray and Sergeant Stowers attended the Command Staff Leadership Series at Sam Houston State University. And that's about it.
Chief, if David had known you were doing that, he would have paid for that trip. That's his.
All my mom.
Oh, really? I'll remember that next year.
He will scholarship you for that. You may want to pencil that in though, because they may get a raise before.
It's pretty tight.
Thank you. All right, the report to the council. It's the end of June, we're at 80, it should say the end of July, and we are at 83.33% of the budget year. The August sales tax payment was the second largest August payment in Troup's history, but it was down from last year's record payment by 2.27%. August and May are the only 2 months in this fiscal year where the payment's been less than the payment of the preceding year. There's one more month remaining in the fiscal year. If the September payment is an average tax payment over the past 8 years, the total tax collections for the year will be in excess of $444,000, or $72,000 above budget estimates. With the arrival of dry weather, if September is an average month, the budget revenue shortfall in the water department budget will be about $5,300. Remember, one time that projection was in excess of $40,000. So the dry weather is closing that up for us. The engineer plans to bid the downtown sidewalk project in November and open bids prior to the December council meeting, so the bid can be awarded at the December meeting. This avoids construction during the holiday in the country and the Christmas parade. Also, we're hoping by delaying it, that the bids will be a little more competitive than it would be.
And we are on a deadline.
Yes, it'd be, but
Once we sign the contract,
yeah, there was 2 years to complete.
yeah.
And he assures me that we should be more than that. Well, that was the question I asked. In July, Smith County completed the interlocal paving agreement work on North and South Church Creek, West Pasco Street, and State Highway 135 to Beulah Street and County Line Road. The county has agreed to allow us to fund the County Line Road work out of the 2019-2020 budget. This allowed us to do several extra blocks of West Pasco Street this year's budget. On September 16th, the demolition of 3 substandard structures properties is scheduled to start. The 3 properties are 105 West Bryant, 102 North Price, and 108 North Price, and will be paid from this year's budget. These properties were approved earlier by the council for demolition. The eminent domain condemnation is still waiting action by the 3 court-appointed commissioners. Our application.
And what is that? So there are actually already appointed commissioners?
Yeah, the judge is appointed, but they just did not.
Okay, and so very briefly, they will make some sort of a ruling,
Of what the value is.
and still, this guy has to accept our offer.
No. So
Okay,
once they rule on the value, then we put that money in escrow.
okay,
And the property becomes ours.
okay. And then if everything goes that way, then we will have to take action to be able to demolish
That's right.
that structure.
That's right.
Okay,
But the property will be ours when the commissioners rule. That money will go in escrow, and I believe it's 2 years. That money is not collected in 2 years. It comes back.
okay. Sorry about the interruption.
That's okay. Our application to Texas Water Mountain Board is waiting approval of our water conservation plan by the Texas Water Development Board. And the latest email says that they have frozen that document and they will approve it by January.
And that's wastewater?
Yes. That's the old Delmar Sewer Plant project, the Delmar Sewer Plant project. The
And
city,
still no feedback yet at all about debt forgiveness
no, because we can't do any of that
until it's approved.
approved, yes. The city supported very options for animal control, including contracting with other entities to do the work for us. We have the notice to proceed from the Texas Parks and Wildlife Department for the Short Street project. Following today's groundbreaking, this project should move forward relatively quick. That notice to proceed came right. I will miss the September council meeting that is the second public hearing on the tax rate. And that's the reason we're having the public hearing on the budget today, because we were originally going to have that on the night, but I did not want to miss the meeting for that. You were going to have a hearing on that in case someone was here to ask a question on the budget. However, for the meeting next week, in order to approve the budget tax, let's see, As a reminder, we need a simple quorum for that meeting on the 9th. However, for the meeting the next week on the 16th, in order to approve the budget and tax rate, we will need everyone at that meeting since it requires the approval of 60% of the council to be enacted. That means you can have one person absent or one person vote no, if you have an absence. If that happens, then you revert back to the current year.
And that meeting is on what?
September 16th.
All right, so everybody look,
That's the regular meeting.
calendars.
And what's the ninth?
That's
Ninth is our second public
second
hearing.
public hearing on the tax rate. You have to have a quorum for that.
Okay, so September the 9th, City of Troup Council meeting, and September the 16th, which is the next week, is the final City of Troup Council meeting. Yeah, full council. Okay. It's in my calendar already.
Of course, all those dates were in the stuff I read.
Yeah, I know we've hit them like 20 times now, but I just have to keep looking at my calendar.
And Phyllis did not have a vacation sometimes, so she scheduled a Alaska trip that's going from September 1st to September 15th.
That should be a good time to be in cooler climates.
But I will be available if you need. Like I said, the most important of those meetings is we just have to determine quorum for the night. And I won't be here to be, of course, I will be sending out text messages from wherever I have. And I don't anticipate, if we have as many people for that one as we have for this one, it should not be a lengthy meeting. That's all you're going to do that day is have the second hearing on the tax rate.
On the tax rate.
Any questions?
Any questions on the written report from city manager? Police report? We need no action on that. Mr. Conley, move on.
Well, that's right.
Okay. At this time, I would note that we are going to enter into our first public hearing for the proposed City of Troup tax rate for 2019 and 2020, noting at 6:49 p.m. And this is an opportunity to discuss the tax rate for citizens. You have a question?
He doesn't live here.
Cherokee County. Bill and Russ asking your question.
But he's welcome to go on Facebook and criticize our city policies.
Everybody else does.
That's what
Or
I'm
our park not having a shade on it.
Yeah.
I thought someone was gonna be, well, a few people. You know, I tend to only key in on, you know, when people write nice stuff, it's like, it goes right over my head, but when they're like slamming stuff, it's like, really? You know, how about just good for y'all? Wow. Good job, guys. Are you gonna?
Unless you want something.
Nope. So, I will adjourn the.
Nobody was here to spoke for that.
Okay. I'll note at the end of agenda item number 8 that there were no citizens here to comment on the proposed City of Troup tax rate for 2019-2020. We'll adjourn that meeting, which is agenda item number, or close that public hearing, agenda item number 9, noting 9, noting 6:51. And then we'll move on to agenda item number 10, which is where we conduct a public hearing for the proposed City of Troup budget for the fiscal year 2019-2020. And noting that there are no citizens here for comment. Oh, and that is also at 6:51. And noting that there are no citizens here for the comment portion of this public hearing, I will close the public hearing, noting that it is 6:51. Agenda item number 12, which will be to discuss and consider any possible action on the proposed City of Troup budget for fiscal year 2019-2020 in accordance with the Local Government Code, Chapter 102-007A.
After the hearing, the council is required by law to take some action on the
This is
budget.
a reflection of a,
And there is I have made a suggested motion. You don't have to use that if you don't wish to. But that motion meets the requirements of the statute.
I move that following the public hearing, the fiscal year 2019-2020 budget be submitted for consideration for adoption by the Troup City Council at the meeting to be held on Monday, September 16, 2019.
Second.
a motion and a second. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Agenda item number 13, discuss and consider authorizing the publication of a tax notice, a notice of tax revenue increase, Form 50-198, and this is a housekeeping thing, or a statute that we have, the statute that we have to adhere to.
And even though the tax rate is the same as last year, because there's been an increase in property values, there is a built-in increase in the tax dollars we collect. So we have to publish this notice saying that that's what happens. And this notice can't be published until, we need to go ahead and approve it, but this notice can't be published until after that second hearing on September the 9th. But we have to publish this notice before we can vote on the tax rate on the 16th. So you need to approve, you're not going to meet again before the 9th.
Right.
So you need to approve this notice tonight, assuming that we have the second public hearing on September the 9th.
All right.
Make a motion that we authorize the publication notice of the tax revenue increase form 50-198.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, the motion passes. Agenda item number 14, discuss and consider adopting City of Troup's tax abatement policy that would be effective from September 13th, 2019 through September 12th, 2021, and you'll have to explain this.
Every 2 years that we have an interlocal agreement sort of with the Tyler Economic Development Corporation that sets forth our tax abatement policy. If there was some business that came to Troup that wanted to have an abatement for their taxes, and
That we have a policy.
that we have to have a policy that do that. And this mirrors the policy used in Tyler by the Tyler Economic Development Council, which mirrors the agreement that the city of Tyler uses and
Most of these things we do every year, or
this is every 2 years.
yeah, on some systematic basis. This one I didn't remember.
We did it in 17.
Okay. All right, we entertain a motion for agenda item number 19 on the tax abatement policy.
I make a motion.
14.
Make a motion that we consider adopting the tax abatement policy that would be effective from September 13, 2019 through September 12, 2021.
Second.
A motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign, motion passes. Agenda item number 15, discuss and consider resolution number 2019-0826-01R, a resolution for the City of Troup resolving to support the goals and ideals for the 2020 census and will disseminate 2020 census information to encourage participation, ask affiliates and membership to work together to achieve an accurate and complete count, and to encourage people in our community to participate in events and initiatives that will raise the overall awareness of the 2020 census and increase participation among all populations, and establish a complete count committee in cooperation with other agencies within Smith County and establishing an effective date. Just a heads up, this is a thing that majority of the cities in Smith County are doing, to just sort of say, you know, we're supportive of sort of an organized effort to get an accurate census. And we take action on this, we can send it back in to regional mobility guys, and they can publish that Troup along with the other cities in Smith County have adopted this resolution.
And on Facebook, I've been sharing the posts from the Census Bureau. Today, I thought I was going to get fired for one, but I sure is.
You get hammered
I did.
about whether we should or shouldn't be.
No, it referred to a couple that were not of opposite sex being included in the county. And I didn't actually realize that when I
Shared it.
but,
Everybody else.
yeah, no, everybody else did.
I missed it.
And obviously, those people thought I originated the post when it definitely says up there, U.S. Census Bureau.
Yeah. Okay.
Only read what they want.
So we need, you know, I would entertain a motion from the council for this resolution.
Okay, I approve the resolution for the city council, resolution number 2019-0826-01R. Want me to read the whole thing?
No.
Okay.
It's,
Second.
yeah.
If you want to, you may.
Welcome.
So on agenda item number 15, we have a motion and a second. Is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, and motion passes. Agenda item number 16, discuss and consider approving the Troup Community Development Corporation budget for 2019-2020.
And they approved their budget tonight. That's the reason why there's nothing in your packet. And since they fund a lot of our projects, I recommend the approval of their budget. Of course, they're funding the park project, and I am proposing in next year's budget that they repave West Bradford Street adjacent to Tiger Country.
Okay.
Good move. I make the motion that we approve the Troup Community Development Corporation budget for 2019 through 2020.
Second motion.
Motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed, same sign, motion passes. Agenda item number 17, discuss and consider authorizing city manager to sign a letter of engagement with Acker and Company for audit of the city of Troup's finances for the 12 budget month period, October 1/8/18 through September 30/19, as per Government Code Chapter 2254.003. And we now have been doing these audits every year. Right along.
Very good. I make a, any discussion?
Yeah, the only thing I want to point out about it, there's a $500 change in the budget you have this time from the budget you had last time. That $500 change is because they put up $500. But the budget's still in balance, because we were about $700 to the good, and she went up $500 on this. Now we're only $200.
Was that a motion?
Yes, I make a motion that we authorize the city manager to sign a letter of engagement with Acker and Company for the audit of the city of Troup finances for the 12-month budget period of October 1st, 2018 through September 30th, 2019, as per Government Code Chapter 2254.003.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. 18, discuss and consider library board recommendations for appointment of board member positions for odd years with terms expiring in 2021 for a appointees, Jan Singletary, Sharon Capps, and Jean Witzel. All terms of service for the Cameron J. Jarvis Municipal Library. And their library board, as always, has to be approved by us. They send us their recommendations, and I don't think we've ever deviated from their recommendations.
I make a motion that we approve the recommendations from the library board for appointment of board member positions for odd years with the terms expiring in 2021 for appointing Jan Singletary, Shannon Capps, and Jean Witzel, and terms of service for the Cameron J. Jarvis Troup Municipal Library.
That's the second motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion passes. Agenda item number 19. Discuss and consider awarding a bid for sewer line repairs on West Duval to Lee Tech Solutions in the amount of $65,502. Gene, you can explain, just remind us what this is.
Yeah, we need to replace a set of, a piece of sewer line. Remember, a couple of years ago, we had a set of
This
sewer
is the
line.
brand.
Yes, there is the complete bid tabulation there for all the people that submitted bids, and those bids range from $118,000 to $65,000. And the reason it's,
And our budget, our
budget was $60,000.
budget was 60, so we really missed it. Except for these guys.
And of course, this is what I was talking about bids being much higher than they had anticipated. I was talking to Kirk at another event on Friday night, and he had a city that was trying to lay a water line through a pasture. It was about 500 feet, and it was going to cost over $200 a foot to lay that water line, which he said was. So they had actually rejected their bids twice and rebid it, trying to get the bids to drop, and they had not. Of course, he had anticipated when he first bid this contract, he thought that $60,000 was on the hang, but as it turned out, $118,000 on the hang. And this is a pipe bursting technique. What they do is they go in one of the manholes and they run a ram down through that manhole, and they burst that existing pipe out, and they blow in a plastic pipe around that piece. And Kurt, your letter is there from.
There's no digging on that either, is there?
Just don't either end.
Right.
Yeah. And then they have to retap the existing line. But you don't have to have enough room to get their equipment out. So but you don't tear up the street. So you don't have to worry about fixing the pavement and all that sort of thing. So anyway.
That could be real beneficial to us in the future on some other areas.
Yeah, and Kurt, if you read his recommendation on this, he went to great trouble to talk to other places where they had done this procedure, and they were very happy. And of course, as the mayor says, if we do this and like it, it could be better beneficial to us when we can replace other lines, if it works out well for us. So I recommend the approval of this.
When can we discuss this discussion?
When you have a motion, is that?
We have after that thing that we never do.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. I make a motion that we award the bid for sewer line repairs on West Duval Street to Lee Tech Solutions in the amount of $65,502.
I second the motion.
Motion and a second. Would anyone like to discuss this motion?
The discussion is the vast difference between the other guy and Alto.
I'll give you the Cliff Notes version.
Okay.
Everybody else was gonna dig the entire street up,
That's right.
6, 8 foot deep.
Okay.
Or 17,
put-
10, 12 foot deep or whatever.
Yeah, whatever, way down in the ground, like those patches and repairs a year ago.
Right.
And then put in, replace remove the pipe, replace the pipe, block the street for a long period of time, put all the dirt back into TxDOT required densities, bring it back up, put road base down, put sub paving down, and then final paving. When that's all said and done, that technique was, that all of those guys did it, and it's very invasive. This technique is substantially less invasive. It's just not anything we had ever done before.
Right, and
I stubbed my nose at it at first. It's like, no, I don't know what that is. I don't get it. I think Kirk went back.
You can actually go on the internet, you can see videos of that.
right, and while I was at College Station, we call that, and the gardens at College Station is doing that same thing. So I'm trying to figure out why more companies have not adopted that, and because it's actually a huge savings. And like you said, this would be great, for the city on a lot of different projects. A lot of people are doing that. Yeah, the engineers at College Station are using that technology, and I just don't understand why.
Yeah.
More do it.
I had never heard
I
of
think
it.
everybody was kind of scared of it, just like, it doesn't seem everybody's mind that it is. Of course, it wouldn't work for us on that other project because you have to have an existing line that's still intact enough to go through it. Yeah. But if your line's completely stopped up and clogged, so timings is of the essence. Even though this line is collapsing, it's not yet completely collapsed. So it gives us an opportunity to do it. Whereas before, we had pipe that completely
Compacted or destroyed.
We had pipe that wasn't there.
gone, yes.
There was
We hadn't had clay
red clay.
Oh,
It looked like somebody had made a 12-inch by 24-inch deep red clay trench, and that was the pipe. It was gone. Never seen anything like it in my life.
Wow.
And I got in trouble for saying that
Yes, you did, yeah.
to the owner's son. That's
Yeah.
Gene gets a call from the owner of Capco and said, what's the burr under your mare's ass? Gene said, what? He said, something that I've never seen anything. It's like you put the emphasis on the wrong syllable.
Yeah, no, well, he thought Joe was criticizing their work. And
Oh.
Joe was not criticizing their work, he was just saying he'd never seen a
Never
pipe.
seen one
It was
like
missing, yeah. So we got all that straightened out.
well, I'll tell you, we had one at that house that Donna lives in.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
It was done during the war years, Second World War, and it was cardboard syrup. We saw it.
Most people have a lot of water in their cooking, the sewer pipe probably was fine. Kind of had a wax coating on it.
well, the story was even a little more exaggerated than that because the story got back that this guy came up and told everybody it was the mayor and then started spouting off about it. And of course, when I heard that part of the story, I knew the rest of it was false because Joe never does that. He never comes up and says, I'm the mayor.
Yeah.
I tried desperately to say I'm not the mayor.
It's kind of like Phyllis, she had somebody came to the funeral home one day complaining about something that I had said, and she could have seen that maybe I might have said part of it, but he said I was using curse words, and I told him that, and she said, well,
Okay.
she said, you had me going there for a second, but she said, when you got to that part of the story, she said, I realized the whole thing, you made the whole thing.
I'll tell you who wasn't. I'll tell you who wasn't using curse words. So we have a motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, and that motion passes. We will now, agenda item number 20, we will now convene into executive session.
Why don't we do 23 and 20? Why don't we do 23 and 24 first?
Okay. Agenda item number 23 is discuss and consider approving an interlocal agreement between Smith County and the city of Troup for emergency and non-emergency law enforcement dispatch services. Gene, go ahead and explain that.
Okay, we have a contract with Smith County, they do all of our dispatch services for us. And they haven't renegotiated that price in what, 10 or 12 years, something like that. Well, they came back this year and said they needed to renegotiate the price because some of the other entities were way underpaying for what the services they were getting. So for this next fiscal year, our cost actually went down a little bit. The only bad part about it is in fiscal year 21, 22, and 23, our costs are going to go from $18,000 to $29,000. But we're not hit nearly as hard as some other places, correct, Chief?
That's correct.
Yeah. Some places went up over double this year. Now, they were not happy.
But they haven't been paying.
That's right, they've been
I mean,
paying,
so-
we were actually paying more, than them, and they were larger cities. So
So we would need a motion to,
and we think this is the best agreement we can get, right, Chief?
Yes, I agree.
I make a motion that we approve the interlocal agreement between Smith County and the city of Troup for the emergency and non-emergency law enforcement dispatch services.
Second?
motion, is there a motion and a second, is there any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes. Agenda item number 24, discuss and consider approving the public safety answering point project participation funding request, asking the Smith County 911 district for $17,559.79 for Fund 5 Toughbook laptop computers and one tough pad for the Troup Police Department to enhance and improve 911 operations for the Troup Police Department.
Is it in the budget?
We're asking for this
We're
money
asking
from Smith
for it.
County. We're going to be, but they will not entertain our request until the city council has approved it. Chief, you got anything you want to add to that?
But basically, the ones we have, they're just so old, the technology's can't keep up with the other technology, so we need them. And they're tough books, they're in the car.
So are they basically, the laptops that are in the cars now are gone and these
We're
replaced?
replacing with those. And tough books are much more expensive, but because of the heat of the cars and the roughness of riding in those things, et cetera, we did a survey and checked, and most all agencies are still using them because a regular laptop, although it's a lot cheaper, they don't last near as long as, we've had these tough books for years.
7 or 8 years.
Yeah.
Well, before I came.
And 911 bought them for us also, I believe.
Okay, so this is really just us asking for it until we vote to approve it, they won't consider it.
And the reason we have one tough pad just is for the school resource officer, because they bring it into the school and use it, take pictures or do their
Right.
So
reports.
it's removable from the mount?
Yeah, it's a lot easier to remove, it's just a pad, so that's why we have one tough pad in there.
I make a motion that we approve the PSAP project participation funding request, asking the Smith County 911 district for $17,559.79 for Fund 5 Tough Book laptop computers and one tough pad for the Troup Police Department to enhance and improve 911 operations.
Second motion.
Motion and a second, any additional discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign, motion passes. Now we'll skip back to, thank you, Chief.
Turn out.
Agenda.
I'll go and let him announce that.
Yeah.
Yeah, agenda item number 20, City Council will convene for executive session to discuss personnel under Government Code 551.074, annual evaluation of city secretary.
You don't want to read 21 also?
No, they're two separate items.
Okay.
You will, go ahead and,
We will stay convened for, on agenda item number 21, for executive session under Personnel Government Code 551.074, the annual evaluation of the city administrator. This would be agenda item number 22. We will reconvene into the regular meeting to take action or to discuss anything that happened during the executive session, and I would note that it is 7:36. At this time, is there anyone, I'm not expecting any action, is there anyone interested in making a recommendation? No? Okay, so, on agenda item, number 22, there will be no, action or direction. Agenda item number 25, comments and input from the city council, mayor, city manager concerning items of interest for future meetings. Anybody?
I want to let you know that we're going to need to make some changes to the planning and zoning ordinance. So they will be published within the next few days. I noticed in the newspaper that the city council is going to hold a public hearing on making changes to the zoning ordinance. There's a couple things. Remember, the legislature has done away with the exterior building requirements. So the planning and zoning commission voted to recommend to the council that we take those items out of the zoning ordinance. And also, there's a gentleman that wants to open on a recycling facility, and there's not a, in our zoning ordinance, there's an M2 for industrial that fits with what he's wanting to do. But even though it's talked about in our zoning ordinance and our schedule of uses, there's nothing in there for M2. So the planning and zoning commission, and I'll give that to you, has proposed changes to our schedule of uses that will allow him to specific use permit on his indoor recycling. So, and of course, we'll have to have public hearings, all that sort of thing on that. But the first public hearing is that we have to give him a place to, we have to give him a zoning spot to do that. And I've run it by the attorney, and the attorney agrees that to designate it as an M2. But like I said, in our schedule of uses, it ends at M1, even though M2 is talked about in our zoning law. So that's upcoming. And that'll either be at the meeting on the 9th or the meeting on the 16th.
It'll have to be, the day was the 16th. The 16th. I counted the days.
Counted the days.
Because as soon as I can get it published would be Thursday's paper.
Okay.
If I get it, I'll have to get it to her tomorrow.
Tomorrow. In that hearing notice will be very non-specific, because the attorney said it didn't have to be specific. All you have to do is put in that the city council is going to hold a hearing on making amendments to the city council.
Okay. Any other discussion items for future meetings? If not, I would adjourn this meeting, noting that it is 7:39 p.m.